What's up, dudes and dudettes? The last video I put out, all that footage and stuff that I got from it kind of ran into this one. So here's what happened with the rest of that day. As you're watching that, I'm going to take the steering column back out of the car. I'm going to bring it over to Metal Man Dan, see if he can't make me some sort of bushing that's going to help me keep that steering rod steady like I showed you in the last video. There, you'll see here. You'll see what the problem is in this video. That's it. I'm getting ahead of myself. Check it out, watch it, stay tuned, subscribe, click the like button, tell your friends. Have some fun, enjoy this. I hope you guys are enjoying it, because even if nobody's watching this, I still love doing it, and I'm just gonna keep doing it. Check it out. And since I haven't worked on this car for a good 8 months, 10 months maybe, I've been working on a bunch of other stuff, the RX-7, the 8.6, Jesse's Camaro was in here. So I don't even know where all my parts are. You know, you put everything nice and neat into a box, a shelf somewhere, you end up needing bolts, whatever, you find stuff, you look through stuff, it happens, you know what I mean? Like, you guys probably been through it too, anybody that's been working on a long-term project. Let's see if I can find the parts I need and get that all bolted up. Wish me luck. So I'm going through stuff and I'm finding everything that I need to get this little project underway. What I'm trying to do right now is get all the steering together so that I can put the steering column in the car, I can put the wheels on the car, put it on the ground, and be able to move it around steering the steering wheel. The problem with this kit, I ordered it about 1.5 years ago. And it didn't come with any instructions whatsoever. Everything I've done so far, I've either Googled it, looked it up on YouTube or something to figure out a basic direction to go. And there's a lot of bolts and stuff missing with the kit. So I'm gonna have to really dig deep on this one to figure out where to go with it. As you can see here, I've got the A-arms all on, the coilovers on, the steering rack's mounted. Nothing's tied down really tight yet because I'm gonna have to take it off probably a few times to get it to work properly. This could turn into a long battle. Then I have to get the steering column mounted back in the car and everything all bolted together. These are some of the parts that I've found so far. Just going through it real quick. Tie rod ends, steering knuckles, the spindles. Pretty sure I put these pieces on backwards already. Here's the other spindle. That's the steering column. I'm gonna use what I have. I'm gonna be needing to find a few parts because there is a lot of slack in this. Also, this is the stock steering column the whole way through. I had a friend of mine set this up so that it could be mounted to these knuckles. Realistically, I have everything I need to do this. I have to figure out in which order to do everything, and that could suck. I'm gonna keep going through stuff, see what I can find, see what I can figure out, and we'll just get on it. There's a slight issue with the spindles as well on this. They don't fit right. It's almost like I have way too much positive camber already. My A-arms are adjusted to maximum positive camber, so I can't bring that wheel in anymore, and it just doesn't look right. So what I think I'm gonna do, the next step, I'm gonna take these shocks off the car, and that way I can lift the A-arms up and down, bottom and top, as I need to try to get the thing to kind of line more realistically. Because right now it's so off camber that it hurts. Okay, so I got the shocks out. These things are flopping around like a pair of big old. Okay, so to really show you guys what I'm talking about, the issue with the spindle, I mounted one side where it looks like it has way too much positive camber. My adjusters are maxed out so that there is only gonna be positive camber that I can add to it. And that's the kind of camber I have. Looking down the side of the car, it might be a little bit of negative camber right now, but I don't know how level the car really is, and that really doesn't leave me much adjustment. I still really feel like something's wrong here with the setup. I'm gonna continue anyway because the problem, if it is what it could be, would be the shock mounts are too close to the outside of the car. I'm gonna have to chop those off and weld them back on. So I'm gonna try to put together this front end thing, see what happens. In worst case, later on, we just slice them off. weld them back. It's one of those things. So let's get these spindles all put together and then we'll go from there. Steering arms, brake brackets, maybe even throw the calipers on for good measure. See how it sits on there. Here we go. So now that I've got one spindle completely together with the brake mounted on it, as far as I know is the proper way. So let's try to put these on and we'll see how it looks. So it's on, it's mounted. Does this look right to you guys? What do you think? Let me know. Drop comments in the comment section. I could be doing this totally wrong. I've never done this before. It's all a learning experience for me. Seems okay. So after giving this a good look over, after installing it all, I think I might have mounted the steering arm upside down.
Pretty sure I put these pieces on backwards already.
This piece right here. Because when you look at it from straight forward, when the A-arms are almost straight, the gap between this pivot point and this one is much larger than the one from the rack to the bottom A-arm. So before I go any further and put the other side on, I'm going to take this off and flip around the steering arm. Okay, so I think it looks a little better now. So as you can see now, the angles of the pivot points are much more uniform. I'm assuming that's the way to do it. This gap between the lower ball joint, outer tie rod, is about the same distance as the inner tie rod to the bottom of the A-arm pivot. So I put the spindle in a vise and I tried mounting the disc. I can't get the bearings to sit down properly and I don't want to smack them down in there because if I can't get them out, then I'm pretty screwed for later on. And also the brackets for the caliper, I can't seem to find the right angle for it. Not every ending could be a happy ending, I guess, eh? We'll keep trying. Can't give up. Never give up. What a mess, but I think I have it figured out now. Two problems. Number one, I left this little collar on top of the bearing, and apparently you don't do that. I guess that's in the box shipped with it to keep all the needle bearings kind of in the track in the right place. So the disc wasn't sitting right because of that, and I had the caliper mount on the wrong caliper. So now I think I've got that figured out. I've never done this before, so I'm going to assemble it the best way I think I can and how it should be done, and then we'll take a look at it from there and see what we'll do next. So I got the steering knuckles on, the spindles, the rack is all mounted to the tie rods, inner tie rods, everything's hooked up. The next thing I gotta do now is put the steering column onto it. So I got these cool little universal joint deals. Nice shiny chrome. These will connect the steering column to the rack. I got two of them. One mounts on the steering column and the other one mounts onto the rack. I'm missing the little piece, the shaft in between. I'm gonna find that. And also I'm having a little tiny problem with the steering column here. I'm missing a bushing in here. It's floating around like crazy. Can't run that on the car. That's an accident waiting to happen. I hopefully find a solution for that. Got the steering column in. So today is coming to an end. I'd like to thank you guys all for joining in on the first part of working on this car. I want it to be on the road as soon as possible, but at the same time, it's not something that you can rush. Building a car like this it's a marathon. It's not a sprint race. I miss being a part of the muscle car scene, but if I have to, I'll just show up and I'll be the camera guy. We're gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other. This is the beginning of something new, but for now, just keep tuning in because the party's just about to start.